Hi, I'm Shoestring Jay and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and sustainable. But today I'm going to actually talk about feeling out of control. Do you ever feel out of control? I rarely do these days. I used to feel like this a lot when I was at work and I was overwhelmed by the number of things I had to do. But usually I feel pretty in control. I run a fairly tight ship, but I don't know, it just seems to have run away from me. I think partly the financial side has run away from me a bit because I always put money aside for birthdays and holidays, and I failed to take into account the fact that there were lots of big birthdays this year, 30th birthdays, 90th birthdays, and we give a bit more when it's a big birthday in my family. That's our tradition. So partly that, and there are a lot of birthdays. I mean, May, June is always when I spend all the money. It's my daughter's, it's my nephew's, it's my mum's. It used to be my dad's, bless him. It's my other it's three nephews actually. Three nephews, one of whom is having a 30th. It's Justin's. I think I've probably forgotten someone. There are loads. Anyway, there are loads of birthdays in our family, so it's always an expensive month. And I haven't really put enough money aside, so I'm having to try and bankroll that from the normal bank balance. And I have been booked at very short notice for an operation next week, and I guess they didn't tell me it was a cancellation, but I'm guessing it was a cancellation because it was all so sudden. It's only a small operation, nothing major. I won't go into details, it's a bit personal, but I wasn't expecting it. So I haven't really kind of prepared ahead in terms of my work. So I haven't scheduled loads of videos. I haven't done extra eBay listings or bought extra eBay stock or anything really. So I'm not really feeling on top of that. And I don't know, I feel a little out of control. Plus I'm trying to get the garden sorted. Once I have this operation, I won't be able to do any heavy work for at least 6 weeks. So I really need to take it easy. So I've got to get the bulk of everything done now. And I've only got a few days to do it. Justin's been very good, and he's been doing all the digging up on the veggie patch. So I've really just got to plant stuff, but it's keeping it watered. So my daughters are going to be here every day for the first week. Justin's still looking after his mum, who's very, very poorly and bedbound and has been for about 6 weeks. So he's not here a lot. So I can't really rely on him to do a lot of stuff here, and I can't rely on him to do all the dog walking. He does as much as he can, but sometimes, you know, his mum's really poorly. He has to focus on her. So the girls are going to be here like every day for the first week. So I've just done the first week. I'll worry about the second week when it comes to it. I mean, they can't be here all the time, particularly my youngest two, because they both work in London and they have to go into the office. They're supposed to go into the office. So they've requested a bit of time out to come look after their elderly mother. So we're feeling a bit overwhelmed, and the house is a mess for some reason. I mean, I haven't looked at today's washing up, I haven't even done that. I've got piles of stuff. Let me show you the piles of stuff on the table, which is all eBay stuff that I've got to sort out. And I don't know, I'm just not feeling very in control. So I've got various things here, and I've got some decorations that I did recycle from my eldest daughter's 30th. I thought, well, I'll keep those because the next one will be 30 soon enough, and it's this month, but they've got a bit bent up, so I'm just flattening them under some books. This is just stuff I bought recently. I mean, Becky went to a boot sale on Saturday, and it was lovely. It was a lovely day. People are always nice at a boot sale, but there was just nothing. I bought this very retro. I actually love this. This is great, this teapot. I bought 2 gravy boats. This was like one boot sale. Yeah, I think I got all these in boot sale. Yeah, this was, I think, the Spode one. That was £1. Becky was like, why are you buying so many gravy boats? And I was just thinking, that's all there is. This was 20p. So I had 2. And then I bought these, which I'm sure are a Denby Arabesque, I think that pattern is. I've had that before, 4 of those. And then because I didn't know what else to get, that pile of bubble wrap. These are not vintage, but there was a lady selling this from when she used to live in France and had a bed and breakfast in France. I thought, I bet these were lovely actually as bed and breakfast things, but I didn't know what, I thought I wouldn't normally buy them, but there was nothing else, so I bought those. And then we went to the charity shop instead because there was nothing at the boot sale, and I got These, this is the only thing I bought. This Arthurwood England teapot sugar bowl. It's quite cute. Look at the little piggy tail on the back. And jug. And even then I got overcharged by the volunteer for that, because it said $3.99 for 3. I thought it said that, and then when I got to the till she said $5.99. I said, oh, I thought it was $3.99. She said, oh no, that was just for the teapot. So I thought, okay, fair enough. And when I got home I thought, no, it's very, very definitely says on the label $3.99 for 3. So anyway, $5.99. I've been diddled. There's some other bits I've got recently. I bought these pictures for us from Boots. I think I showed those in a previous haul. It's 2 old phones of my daughter's that I'm going to sell for her. It's just something for my mum's, but she said, can you sell that? But look at it. It's actually a bit big, so I'm not sure if that's going to make it onto my shop. Put this up in a different charity shop. It's all stuff I've just kind of gathered together. As you can see, it's £2. And a lovely mug. I did think Mum would want this, but she didn't. This was when I went to see Mum, another Spode mug. Somebody gave me this, and I already have some jugs from this range, so I might put it together. It's red, Mandalay red, and just an interesting old shell plate. And then Becky asked me, she picked this up. It's like a weather sort of barometer thing. It's quite cute. She asked me to sell that for her, so that's it. So I've got to do those things. I've got loads more stuff upstairs. Justin's given me a box of stuff which I have not really investigated over there. So anyway, that's what I've got to sell. Here we have a couple of sunflowers, one there pushing through. It's a very sunny windowsill, this. I have to make sure it doesn't dry out. Some cosmos. I do have cosmos straight in one of the pots, the big pots, but I thought I'd grow a few separately to put at the front of the house. Two corn on the cobs have germinated there, and a load of kale which I need to thin out, so I need to do that at some point. Load of kale. I don't know where I'm going to put all these things. My gut veggie patch is not really big enough. I should do guerrilla gardening and just stick them here and there and everywhere, I think. Anyway, things looking good. It's my lovely mum and dad a long time ago. So glad these courgettes have started to come up after my last lot got eaten. Only 3 though so far. Come on, courgettes, you can do it. These are the squashes, butternut squashes, that actually came up when all the others came up, and I rescued them. They managed not to get eaten. You can see they're recovering from the damage. So I'm keeping them in here until I can work out some effective form of slug control. And then we've got some more butternut squashes coming because I sowed a few more. And they're doing okay. Nothing on this one. Give them a little spray every morning and water them as well when they need it. So yes, we're getting there. The garden's looking reasonably tidy for us today. Going to open the greenhouse before it gets too hot, I think. I sowed some spring onions down in this little front bed. Little raised beds that Justin put in, but we're not really using them for veg, just generally for herbs. But I thought I'd stick some spring onions in, and then there were a couple of broad beans that I sowed by accident. My initial lot of runner beans actually turned out to be broad beans, so only 2 germinated anyway because it was old seed, so I've stuck them in that front bed. I don't know if you can see them down there, with just one sad tomato that was so small I thought I'll shove it in there. I'm not going to do anything much with that. The wildflowers at the back, herbs, I've got sage and thyme and parsley in there so far. I keep trying to grow more things. I do have some chives up on the wall there, but I don't know if you can see a little purple above the daisies, but I want more chives. I like them, and I want more thyme, so I've got a little bit of thyme there, but I want to kind of have it creeping right along the wall in the gaps and things, and at the front of the house as well. Anyway, let's show you what else I've got. So this is my second attempt at chives. The first lot was old seed again, didn't germinate, so I got some more seed, and I've got some basil here, and this is supposed to be lemon balm, but it hasn't done anything so far, so I don't know if it's going to. Again, I'm wondering if that was a bit old. It was a gift pack of seeds that somebody gave me that I've forgotten about, but I don't think it was that old, but it's not really done so well. I've just crushed up some eggshells. I've been eating loads of eggs because I'm on Slimming World, and they're quite good for snacking, hard-boiled eggs in the fridge. So I've been keeping the shells. I've dried them outside, and now I'm going to go and put them around things that look like the slugs have been attacking them. and see if anything is in my beer traps and see if they need topping up as well. Oh, one little slug in there. One little slug in the bottom. These were getting eaten. So these are my chilies. I repotted these the other day. That one at the back is being eaten. Look at that one. Tomatoes are okay. Let's just nip those out. Can't really see what I'm doing here. This is not a good place for this tomato. It's not going to last there too long. I think it will come outside actually. I'll put that one outside. It's quite hot at the moment. Red peppers are doing okay. And luckily, the slugs don't seem to like those. Aubergines. Oh, aubergines need a bit of support, I think. Never grown aubergines before, so this is an experiment. I think I need to get some canes in there. I need to buy some more. Oh, it's very warm in here. Yep, we have a slug in this beer trap. One of my cucumbers just died. This one's doing okay, but Justin put it outside because he thought perhaps it was too hot in here. Well, I do open it every day, so the tomatoes are doing okay, aren't they? Just nip these out. They seem to be growing quite well. The other, that cucumber's doing good. Nothing in there. No, nothing in that one either. I'll put the rest of the eggshells by them anyway. Can you hear the cuckoo, Archie? Love hearing the cuckoo in the garden. You don't care, do you, Arch? Bum, my old Croc sandals have just bitten the dust, which is a pain. Oh, I love wearing these inside and out. I do have some Croc clogs. I'll have to put those on instead when I wear these inside the house. I won't wear my Crocs inside the house. How annoying. So these ones will have to do. These came from a charity shop for about £5, I think, but they're slightly small, so I can wear them around the garden, but I can't wear them for long. So it got the broccoli in. It's old seed. I think it must have come from my dad's stash, so I don't know if it will germinate, but we'll see. I'll use the space for something else if it doesn't in 3 weeks or so. That's beetroot, chard and leeks. I've already showed you that. It's coming together. This bit will be dug over for some of the courgettes and squashes. And Justin's dug another bit. I just forgot to show you this lovely rug my daughter was throwing out. So put it up here. It's going to go in the bin anyway. And just this area will be courgettes and squashes. And I don't think we're going to have space for anything else. Though I do have kale. I don't know where I'm going to put that. I have kale germinated. I'll have to find somewhere. Dig up another bit, perhaps over there, by our little pear tree. Or maybe this would be good for a courgette, actually, to kind of come tumbling down here. Perhaps I could put a couple of courgettes here. Getting there. Archie, why have you chucked the cushion on the floor? That would have been much softer under your head, wouldn't it? I told you a few weeks ago that I'd bought this, or Justin bought it for my birthday. It's a very old CD player, and I've been loving playing all of my CDs, but I've also been buying any CDs. I bought this, which I had years ago when it first came out, in about, I don't know, late 2000s, I think, was it? So I really enjoyed it, as I say. So I saw that. I think that was 50p in the charity shop, and these were all £1. The Cranberries, that's a great album. I had this once again, don't know where it went, another £1. Eric Clapton, me and Justin watched an Eric Clapton documentary recently. I think it's like a few documentaries. The BBC had loads of stuff going on about Eric Clapton because it was his 80th birthday. Can you believe it? I've always loved Eric Clapton. I've loved him since the days of Cream even, although I was too young to kind of appreciate them right then. I did enjoy them in my teens. So that was £1, as you can see. And then this one again, I've got this on vinyl. It's a classic, isn't it? So I'm going to sit and edit my video whilst I listen to one of these. I would let you listen with me, but of course I will get a copyright strike if I do that. So I think I'm going to go for, because I haven't listened to it yet, Eric. Oh, so I'm back in the house now, feeling hot and sweaty. So I did what all sensible Brits do. When you're hot and it's hot outside, you come in for a nice cup of tea. Nice cup of hot tea, not iced tea. I know we're mad, but you know, I always find tea the most refreshing drink. always. So I've been thinking whilst I've been sorting out the garden, and I'm glad I feel like I'm kind of on top of that now. I know there's bits I can't do yet because Justin will have to do those, but the courgettes aren't ready to go out anyway, and the squashes, they're not ready to go out, so I've got plenty of time there. So I've just really got to keep on top of what I've done already and try and think of somewhere to put the kale. So what I've been thinking, I'm feeling more in control of that, as I say, and I've been thinking about finances and how I have generally overspent. So I'll just do what I do in January, which is absolute bare bones budget, only buy what is absolutely essential and basically do no spend. So I can't do that yet though, because, well, I can do that from now and only spend on things I have already committed to spend on. I've still got a couple of presents to buy. But me and Justin are going off to York for a few days. This is probably going to be our holiday. We don't think we're going to do anything else this year. So we are going for 5 days to York in June, and that's all set up. And the consultant has said I should be okay as long as I do not overdo it whilst we're in York in terms of, running around too much. I can walk and need to rest and walk and need to rest. It'll be, by the time we go, it'll be 3.5 weeks after my op. But they do say, as I said, I think earlier, that you need to rest for 6 weeks and be careful. So if I was at work, I would be off work for 6 weeks at least. So I have to bear that in mind. So we will be going to York. But York, there are things that we want to do in York. For example, the Salt Path film. If you've read the book, great book, I love it. If you've read the book, you'll also perhaps be looking forward to the film. I think the casting is really, really good. I love Jason Isaacs. So that comes out whilst we're in York. So I thought, I've got some cinema vouchers that I was given for my birthday. I'm going to take those with us and we can go use those to do a free thing. The girls are buying Justin a present, which is an experience which I can't say in case he watches this, which we can also do in York. So if anybody has got any ideas for things that we can do that either are free or are cheap whilst we're in York in June, then please do let me know in the comments below. I have been to York once about, I think I was in my mid-20s when I went. So it's been a long time. And I can't remember much except the Jorvik Centre and sort of like cute little shops and things. So let me know. Cheap and free things we can do. I mean, maybe that we have to spend some money. For example, we are staying in a kind of bed and breakfast, so we'll get the breakfast, but we will have to organise meals. So sometimes we just sneak stuff into our room in the evening. But we'll be eating fairly cheaply out a lot of the time. So again, good ideas for that. That would be great. We don't require anything fancy. We just want to go to eat something where I can eat, which is mainly vegetarian. I do eat fish, and Justin he's not fussy at all, so he'd be happy to eat anything. So yeah, good ideas for that would be great. So it's really just a question of being organised, starting to take back control. And I think that's what it is. It's because this came up really suddenly, this operation, and I wasn't prepared for it, as I said. And it's kind of thrown me into a bit of a tizzy. So I need to get out the tizzy, start writing things down, making some lists, what I need to do beforehand, how I need to organise myself afterwards, make sure the girls know, because they're going to have to keep on top of my garden, make sure they know what needs watering and everything before I have the op. And I'll do them a good video because they won't all be here at the same time for me to show them what needs watering, how much water things need, and just generally what might need doing. So I know that I'm kind of in control. I've got to bear in mind that they're actually working while they're here. So although they are here, they'll all be working full time and taking the dog out. So I have to be a bit careful. And I'm going to just plan some easy meals as well that I can prepare. So for that following week, so I'll go shopping just before I have the op to make sure we've got easy summery things and salads and things like that. Or maybe buy a couple of quiches for the freezer. Easy stuff that's not expensive, but that doesn't require anyone to do a great deal of cooking. So it may be that Slimming World goes down the pan for a few weeks there, and we've got enough celebrations. So I have lost 6 pounds on Slimming World in 4 weeks. So I think that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. I lost 2 pounds the first 2 weeks and £1 the second 2 weeks. And that's fine. I mean, as well as I know, because my scales are a bit old and decrepit, and I think I can't remember if I've said in this video or not that I actually did then invest in a set of digital scales because my daughter had some and they're just so much more accurate. So it's kind of motivating when you're trying to lose weight if you can actually see all the half pounds. But on my scales upstairs, I can't really. I mean, it's a bit of a guess. So you stand in the wrong place and you've put on half a pound on those scales. So yeah, so now I can see exactly what I have lost. So, and I can also see what I've put on if I do put on. So I'm trying to maintain anyway while this is going on. I haven't got loads to lose. I've only got maybe another half a stone to lose. So I think I was aiming for a stone altogether because that's what I've put on. So yeah, that'll be fine. I'll fit in my clothes then and that's fine. I don't want to be super skinny waif, but I also don't want a lot of fat around my middle. So anyway, if you haven't watched my Slimming World on a Budget video, have a look through my recent videos and that's on there. So that's it for today. I think I will leave it here. Sorry if it's a bit of a kind of jumbled itty bitty video, but that is kind of where my brain's at the moment. So I'll leave it here, as I say. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps me if you do. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye for now.